And moving on the minister's platform, it's time to crisscross federal ministries, agencies, and parastatals to bring you latest news reports on ministry news. The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbonnaya Ono, has said 2022 revised National Energy Policy and National Energy Master Plan will impact the country's energy sector positively. The minister, who stated this while speaking to journalists after the document was approved by the Federal Executive Council, said the revised policy and master plan will enable Nigeria to take full advantage of available resources of energy in the country. NEP and NEMP were developed by the Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN, which is a parastatal under the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, through his permanent secretary, Andrew David Adejo, has tendered an apology to the workers in the federal universities at a reconciliatory meeting brokered by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, noting that the ministry had not abandoned their issues, but that circumstances had made it look as such. The apology came just as ASU charged the federal government to provide the required funding for the education sector and sign a decent agreement with the union. In response, the president of SANO challenged the minister and the government to exhibit sincerity and honesty to address the current impasse by implementing the agreement reached with the unions. The federal government has called the newly inaugurated board members of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to complete over 200,000 housing units under the Ministerial Pilot Housing Scheme. The Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, who stated this when inaugurating the bank's board in Abuja, urged them to provide mortgage banking services to Nigerians and ensure compliance with the Central Bank of Nigeria regulatory obligations. The Minister of State for Works and Housing, Malam Muazu Sambo, says the Nigerian government has completed about 6,000 housing units across the country, funded by the Federal Housing Authority and the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. The minister, who spoke with journalists in New York, urged Nigerians home and abroad to buy the houses which he said are sold on the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing portal. According to him, 700 units out of the 6,000 units will be inaugurated in Zuba in May, adding that one of the priorities of President Muhammadu Buhari's led administration is to provide social houses. The Minister of State for Works and Housing also noted that the government will deliver soon the second Niger Bridge and the 120 kilometers Lagos-Ibadan highway. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Animal Husbandry Services, in collaboration with the Oyo State Government, has commenced artificial insemination (AI) for cattle, sheep, and goats in the state in a bid to engender high production of livestock products, especially beef, goat meat, mutton, and dairy. This was disclosed by the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Mr. Adeni Olabode Adebisi, while presenting a motorcycle and artificial insemination kit donated to Oyo State by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to an inseminator at a ceremony at the ministry's conference room. While thanking the federal government for the gesture, he, however, assured the ministry of more support and enabling environment for further mutually beneficial engagements. The Federal Ministry of Transportation has urged the Lagos Deep Offshore Logistics Base, LADO, to prioritize local content and youth development in furtherance of the federal government's policy on job creation. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Madeleine Ajani, made this known during an inspection tour of the LADO Free Trade Zone in Lagos, which is one of the nation's critical infrastructures in the maritime, oil and gas sectors. She further encouraged the company to continue to ensure that its policies and practices sufficiently affect the host communities in a positive manner in order to engender peace and inclusiveness. And finally, on ministry news, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development has shut down the swimming pool of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, with immediate effect following the unfortunate death through drowning of a 13-year-old boy, Matthew Godwin, on Tuesday during the festive season. The ministry, which has ordered a full investigation into the matter, has sent delegates to pay the family of the deceased a condolence visit.